All right, welcome back everybody for another deep dive.
Glad to be back.
This time, we're going to be looking at chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Last time we were in chapter 6, but today's a fresh start. A new chapter. New insights to uncover.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes life can feel like it's just, well, overwhelming. Just a million things to do, a million places to be, a million goals you're chasing.
Hmm.
Chapter 7 is all about finding some stability in the chaos.
Finding that anchor.
Exactly. And the Gita uses this really interesting analogy to get this point across.
It does, a powerful one too. Krishna compares everything in existence to pearls strung on a thread.
Okay, so pearls in a thread, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, think of it this way. The pearls, those are all the things we juggle every day, right? Our jobs, family, hopes, dreams, everything.
Mm.
But the thread, that's the important part. That's our guiding principle. That's what holds it all together. The foundation that gives our actions meaning.
So are you saying that without that thread, without a clear purpose, it's like we're just scattering pearls everywhere, achieving things maybe, but in a way that doesn't really feel well connected?
Exactly. And chapter 7 really dives into this. It says so many of us are so focused on getting more pearls, more achievements, more stuff, that we totally forget about the thread, the very thing that makes those pearls valuable.
You know, I've definitely been there, so caught up in checking things off the to-do list that I totally forget to ask, why am I even doing this?
We all have. It's a common struggle. And this chapter is a reminder that reflecting on that thread, on our purpose, shouldn't just happen when we're in a crisis, but should be something we do every single day.
Yeah, I like that. An everyday practice. It's about figuring out what principles or values will guide us. But also, there's this interesting idea in chapter 7 about different paths to knowledge and realization. Paths that are influenced by different types of faith.
Right. And it's important to understand that Krishna isn't talking about religious faith here. It's a different concept. He talks about three types of faith. One that's based on purity and wisdom, another driven by desire and action, and a third rooted in kind of, well, ignorance and inertia.
So is it about understanding what drives us, what motivates us at our core,
Yeah,
and how that shapes our path?
you got it. And no matter which inclination we might naturally have, the chapter emphasizes that staying grounded is key. Krishna advocates for actively shaping our thread through discipline, self-awareness, and focused action. Sort of taking control of our lives.
So all this is super interesting, but let's get down to brass tacks. Like,
Yeah.
what can our listeners actually do to start building that thread in their lives? Something practical they can take away from chapter 7.
One thing that really stuck out to me is Krishna's focus on recognizing the influence of our senses.
Okay.
He says we have to understand how our senses can either distract us from or help us towards knowledge and realization. He even uses this analogy of a chariot, actually.
A chariot.
Yeah. Think of it. The senses are like powerful horses, right? And our mind is the reins.
So to reach knowledge and realization, we need to learn how to control these horses.
Exactly. It's not about suppressing our desires or anything like that. It's more about, cultivating the wisdom to harness them the right way, guide them in the right direction. Imagine you're trying to steer a chariot with wild horses.
Yeah, it sounds like chaos waiting to happen.
Right. But with a little practice, some discipline, we can learn to guide those horses. We can direct that energy, that passion, towards a goal that truly matters, towards a goal that aligns with our thread.
It's like we're constantly bombarded by so many distractions, so much noise. It's easy to forget what we were even aiming for in the first place.
It's true. But chapter 7 shows us that the power to shape our path, to achieve clarity, that's already within us. It's just a matter of understanding ourselves, choosing our values, and making sure our actions reflect those values.
So much to think about. Before we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners to, I don't know, to ponder, to chew on until we're back for chapter 8?
I'd say think about those horses, those senses.
Yeah.
How do they affect your decisions? What can you do to make sure they're taking you where you want to go?
Great advice. All right, everyone, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, you have the power to shape your own thread. Thanks for joining us.